Hello and welcome for this 21st day of Advent of Cyber 2023 DevSecOps. You'll be poisoned a pipeline of insecure code, which is flagged as red, so we'll be on an offensive side this time. The objectives will be to understand how the CI/CD pipeline environment operate and being able to execute some poison pipeline through Git and being able to apply that for another larger CI/CD environment. We'll be using the VM and that's it for now. So CI/CD, as we saw, is basically a cycle way to make the applications have the faster and shorter feedback loop. Development will be able to put or commit a change, and that pipeline will, or the continuous integration itself will be able to build it, test it, verify stuff, and check different things, run different applications or static analysis or dynamic analysis on it, and deploy that into different environment like QA environment for specifically have manual testing done, or being able to provide an environment so that people would be able to check what are the changes and be able to provide feedbacks out of it. As you can see here, the way the different things are clicking together is basically a pipeline which takes GTA, which is the source control, the version control system that is going to be Git here, which is then triggering Jenkins to start a build, and Jenkins is then asking one of its agents to do the task. So we have different like ways to interact with the, this platform and possibly exposure of exploitation. So we might have like entries in the Git repo or Git. We might be able to hack the Jenkins master or even like one of these agents. So in this case, indirect poison pipeline execution, it's basically a way for us to verify if by modifying a file in the Git, we are able to modify the literal environment that's where it's deployed. So by changing something here, we have the Jenkins agent that will be doing stuff on the environment because it will have everything it needs to connect and deploy stuff, but given the input has been corrupted, we would be able to execute stuff that it shouldn't have been executing. In this case here, we would be needing to identify different entry points. So for the Git, it would be a file or a repo that we would repository that we have access to and we can modify. And in order to do that, we need to check every artifacts, every places where we can change something and see how we can modify it to leverage and exploit it. So we have a practical example in the so 3000 for the GTA, and we have the 8080 for the Jenkins. Perfect. So the GTA environment has guest password 123 and the other one has admin. So the point of all of that is to look at the different pipelines. So if we go back here, this one is guest password 123. Remember me. Okay, no, don't. We have the gift wrapper pipeline and gift wrapper, and if we go there, super secure credential set. Yeah, I know. And we have the different pipelines. Perfect. So looking at it, we are checking here we have a gift wrapper build, which is different from this one. So what this one is doing, it has nothing in it. Okay. And this one, it's actually having one repo, which is this one, which has a main branch, which had different stages, and we see that it's tied to GTA. Oops. If I go check the build themselves and look at the console outputs, it's running on Jenkins, recommended Git tool known, blah 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 blah. It has a who am I? Interesting. So if we go back here and go to the pipeline here, there is a Jenkins file. Okay. Okay, we have a pipeline here, which is cool. So let's see if we can edit that thing. You must fork this repository. Okay. What is this? I'm taking that one. Okay, so if I copy that one, git clone, paste, let's keep it this way, code, and if we modify that one and do who am I instead, who am I, save it, go back here, cd gift wrapper, if I do a git status, I have yeah, trust that thing. Git status. We have one file that is modified, so we will add Jenkins file and make sure that we have commit for it. So dash f, not suspicious at all. And let's try to push it. So my username was guest and my password was password 123. Okay, get a user permission denied for writing. And that's because uh, 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 uh. Okay, remote rejected, which is pretty strong, so it's probably issues branches. Okay, that's probably because the branch itself is somehow protected to not be able to be pushed if you don't have the permissions. Okay, that's exactly the same thing that is happening over there, just that I'm using the UI for that. And if I create new branch, test bypass, publish guest password 123. Okay, still getting remote rejected. So yeah, that must be just because we are protected per se. So what's interesting here is that in the Jenkins file we are pulling the gift wrapper. So maybe we have a way for us to modify that thing, because here, if you recall, we had make, which is usually make file. So if we go check on Macaroni gift wrapper and we have a make file here, that's the thing that is executed, and the build has like command line. So if we have, apparently we have, so that's super cool. If we have ways to change that thing here, then we are, by changing it, we are able to trickle down the effect. So we're changing that one, which triggered the pipeline, which then use our makefile to do whatever malicious thing we would like to do and deploy that directly. So let's be destructive here and do who am I. So who am I? Commit the changes. Looks like it worked. And so now going back to our pipeline, nothing has been triggered, but we are we should be able to, yes, we are able to. So it's pulling the stuff. It starts the pipeline, which would then pull the gift wrapper repo with our, hopefully, our change, which will then build going through who am I. And so ideally, if everything goes fine, so now it started. We found a node or an agent. It was like to check out the it checked out the Git repo, pulled it out, and there we go. We have our who am I Jenkins. Perfect. We have a mean to change stuff on our build. Yay. So now if we go back to our practical challenge, what Linux kernel version is the Jenkins node and what value is found from var Jenkins secret key, which means that we need a way to find, or command line to find the the Linux kernel version and showing basically what's the value of secret key. The kernel version is obtained through uname dash r, if I'm not mistaken, and um, the other one that is requested is like getting a cat. So uname, oops, uname dash r, and I will go for cat var lib Jenkins slash secret slash dot key. Okay, hopefully that will make it. That will do it. And so if I go back here, main, build now, so we have our uname here. it's the correct one. And so the key itself is, so now imagine the same thing with like an SSH or um, credentials or whatever. So you can see the power of being able to execute things. You would be able to also print out the environment variables and get some secrets out of it, and being able then to pivot from there. We see here it's in AWS, so maybe there's some credentials for Amazon Web Services, and being able to pivot for that one to be able to enumerate all these kind of things. So see, that's the end of this 21st day of Advent of Cyber. Thank you for your time and take care. Bye bye. See you next day. Bye bye.